What's up, YouTube? Your boy JD making a video here on my my Nano Goblin setup here. I know you guys seen a couple videos of it, doing some pretty impressive things as far as flight time and as far as doing some of the longer range flights with it, which I've been catching a lot of crap here lately from the guys on the from some of the guys on the RC group and some of the guys on the Facebook group. You know, they're all like, your plane is too heavy, 400 grams is too much, this plane's supposed to be, you know, 230 grams to 260 grams max, yada yada yada. And it's like, well, my setup is 400 grams and I'm actually on top of the ReadyMadeRc leaderboard right now. Which they don't like that, of course, and they got all kind of excuses why nobody else has, you know, beat my record that I've set. And I actually set two different records. The first collective distance record was, I think it was 25 miles I did. And on the second one, here recently, last weekend, I went out 29 miles. Well, it's 29 collective miles. So that's basically just flying around in a circle, you know, and the plane stayed up for over 62 minutes. And keep in mind, this was on both of the challenges that I won was on an extremely windy day. We're talking 15 miles per hour gusts on this little bitty plane, and it's doing that well on a 3S line pack. And again, like I said, I've been catching grief. I'm not sure if these guys you know, they got the stock market locked up on the 2S lines or something, but they are really trying to talk a lot of people out of using 3S. The 3S line packs for some reason. But anyway, enough of that drama. I just want to go over this setup real quick for the guys that's been following me. You know, the guys planning on doing the same thing. I am using the RunCam Split 2, as you can see. I did not have to cut out the nose to get this guy to fit in there. I just kind of friction fitted, just pressed it down nice and snug, and it locked in place. I originally had put hot glue on the bottom of it to kind of secure it, but I noticed with this camera, because it's, you know, HD abilities in it got so hot to where it actually melted the hot glue, and I landed one day and it popped out. So that's why I have the black tape over top of it, just to kind of secure it and, you know, officially lock it in there, and that works out well. But the board to the RunCam Split 2, of course, is on the inside of this. I'll show you guys that in a second. As far as receiver-wise go, or transmitter, well, it's a receiver. I'm using a micro Dragon Link. You know, I'm Dragon Link crazy. Everything I fly has Dragon Link in it. And basically all I do is notch out the lid here for the antenna to stick up. And the bottom half of it is sticking out the bottom half of the plane. And of course, this is kind of free floats. And it's a little bit of a hot glue, if you can see that there. Just kind of keep it snug and spot, keep it from ripping it out. And that's pretty much it for that. And video wise go, I'm still stuck on 5.8. Recently though, I did change over to 1.3 on my X-Max truck, and just mainly because, you know, 1.3 does have a better penetration, and for a ground vehicle that's kind of important. But far as flying wise go, I'm still stuck on 5.8. You know, I mean, I went out 22K with it, but this is the this is called a AKK X2 5.8 video transmitter, switchable, meaning you can go from 25 milliwatts to 200 to 500, and 800 milliwatts is max for it. And it's mounted on top of the lid simply because in the 800 milliwatt setting, it gets so freaking hot to where, you know, if it's set on the inside, it's gonna like almost burn up, you know. So it's sitting on top of the lid to get the max coolant from it. And the way I have it secured here is actually, I put Velcro strips up under it. Then I got the thing is like, that's not gonna be enough to hold it, so I just took a zip tie and went straight through the lid and locked that dude in place with a zip tie. Antenna, of course, video area systems, Mad Mushroom, Swear Bomb. This is the antenna I use to go out 22 kilometers with. Video was still pretty good. Yes, it's heavier, but you know, for me, it's just the best antenna that I feel trustworthy with using and trying to achieve some long range with. I may change that one day, but right now this is what I'm using. Back here in the back, this is a U-Blox 8M GPS. Did some shopping on eBay. Pretty much all the components in this plane I bought from eBay, and I seen that this, you know, was just so small. It's like, this would be perfect, you know. So I bought this one on there for eBay, and it works out great. It's a perfect GPS. Cloudy days, I'm still getting 14 up to 17 satellites, and it's doing great, you know, as far as navigation go with the waypoints. Return to home, it's a really good solid GPS and a rather cheap price off of eBay. Other than that, except for some of the stuff on the inside, some details for you guys. This plane is actually, I bought it as the plug and play kit. Why? Because I hate building planes. So with that being said, stock servos, they, you know, it already came, the linkage done, the wings glued on. This is actually the stock motor, the Cobra, Strix brand Cobra 3300 kV motor, and that is the 3052 prop that I use for this. Completely stock as far as the motor and servos go. And yeah, it does cost a little extra, you know, to buy the plug and play kit, but you know, it's saving a lot of time as far as trying to put this dude together, gluing it, this and that. So alright, that's enough on the outside. Let's dig on the inside, show you the rest of the components. Pop this guy here off. And as usual, the inside is a mess. As I said, I used to get into building planes and making it all nice and neat, but now it's just kind of like, I just wanted to work and fly. As long as it's fly, I'm good. So there's the Dragon Link micro receiver, just riding here on the side. Across from the course, that's the Dragon Link antenna. It just kind of hot glued in space in the spot right there. The bottom half, of course, is kind of cut a hole out to where the antenna can stick out on the bottom half of it. And up front, if you can see this here, that is the actual RunCam split tube board. It is not mounted in spot. The reason why it's not mounted is because I have to pull the SD card back and forth out, so it's just sitting off in there freely. I can move it, and I leave it just like this, and the battery sits right here behind it, and it doesn't cause any kind of issue at all. It works perfectly fine the way it is, just hanging there loose. It doesn't, you know, no kind of hiccups from leaving it just in there like that, and it works out perfect. Back in the back, of course, you can't see anything because of the bird nest of wires. Probably got over 5 grams of wire or more. But there's a Airbot Omnibus F4 Pro V3 flight controller with iNav on it, and it's on 1.8. I don't trust using 1.9 yet. It's still too new to me. Behind that, the ESC, I did get rid of the stock 10 amp ESC for a Akka SEFM 30 amp ESC, which is extremely overkill for a plane that's only pulling, you know, 5 amps max at full throttle. But you know, for $9 off of eBay, it's like, why not? You really can't beat it. And behind that guy, I am using a 5-volt back, 3 amp back to power the Dragon Link, and is also powering the servos for the setup. And that's pretty much the whole make of the setup. I mean, for the most part of it. And I'm using, of course, the Titans 3S line 3500 milliamp. And with this line in here, you still can achieve CG. I go by the CG markings on the plane to fly it still, and it works out great and well for it. There's no issues at all. The lid closes snug, and there's still space under the lid once this guy is mounted in there. And also, let me show you guys the back side of this lid here. And as I said, just a zip tie that's going just straight through the lid to hold down the video transmitter. And there's no worry of this guy coming off or ripping off or anything like that at all. It's fairly secure like that. But that's pretty much my plane setup. Nothing too spectacular I have to do to get this guy going. On lunch, I will throw this out there for you guys with this setup. It is heavier. So, and of course, and it's quite natural for a wing anyway. Most wings like reflex on lunch. So what I do with this guy, I give it full up trim and I toss it. You might not even have to give it full up trim for it to work. But me, you know, flying the X5 and a couple other wings, you know, I know they like the up reflex, so I just give it full up trim on the elevons, full throttle, and toss it. And when it leaves my hand, it pretty much just goes kind of straight out and a little bit of an up angle. And that's pretty much it. And as I mentioned, I use the stock CG markings on the plane, the little notches, which you can kind of barely see because I got tape over top of them. And that balances the planes out well, and it flies good. And here also, this is what I did to get into the flight controller to plug in for waypoints or any kind of tuning. I just notched out a hole here on the side to where I can plug into the flight controller still. And this is black Gorilla Tape on the bottom of it just to help, you know, keep from scraping the belly up on some of the landings. And that pretty much sums it up. So if you guys, as usual, have any questions or anything like that, just hit me up. You know, you can talk to me on YouTube or Facebook or RC groups. But, you know, on those two platforms, beware, there's some haters out there right now. You know, the 2S guys, 2S line guys, some of them, you know, you got to watch out for those cats, man. They're highly opinionated that this plane's supposed to be light, a whole lot lighter than what I fly it at. And for some reason, they won't seem to try to be competition with me running 3S on the leaderboard. Nobody's stepping up that tall. Don't know why. Now, I'm not saying my setup is better than theirs. You know, I think everybody's setup is great. As long as you're flying, you're doing good. You know, I just chose to do something different. I mean, I'm always thinking outside the box. You know, I did my research on, I'm a YouTube advocate, as some would say. You know, before I buy something, I always look at YouTube and see the different results people are getting, you know. And with this plane, you got guys, of course, using the stock setup, the 2S line. You got guys that's using normal lipos, 3S, guys using even 4S on it. And I just, you know, did my research and looking at the data, the OS screen stuff, and I just was like, well, dang, a 3S line pack would be perfect for this plane. And I tried it, and boom, there it goes. I mean, it's a sweet setup. Draws extremely low amps, cruises, you know. Once again, my results is kind of tainted. It's all been windy days, but you know, even on the windy days, it's still cruising at 1.5 amps, maybe a little bit lower, and it's running between, you know, 35, 45 miles per hour. But again, this is data that's based upon 15 mile per hour wind days. I have not flown this yet on a day that it has not been windy. So who knows what the actual end results of this setup would be, you know, on a no wind day. We'll see, hopefully in the summer. I'm sure we will. And we're going to max this bad boy out. But anyway, that's pretty much all for now. Again, hit me up if you got any questions. And we'll get you guys fixed up. Peace. Much love.